read the question.
Did you really?
I did.
Oh, well then fuck you. You're ready to go. Ooh, real loud today. Christian's not here. I have to start with a lot of energy. Oh my goodness. Where is Christian? Why is he not here today?
I don't know. You're looking at me like I know.
You should know. You guys share an office.
Oh.
Anyway, we're back. Baltimorons today. We have a special guest here today, actually a podcast professional, Senor Christopher Robinson.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
What's up, dude? Do you ever get I have to bring Winnie the Pooh?
Yeah, that's pretty much all
Every single human being that I was like, Christopher Robinson's going to be on this. And they're like, oh, you mean Winnie the Pooh? I'm like, no, Christopher Robinson. Yeah. Sorry, my bad.
That's pretty much all I get.
Yeah. You should bring like a little, stuffed Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, stuffed Winnie the Pooh.
No. That makes you a
right
thing.
Here.
I'm not that into Winnie the Pooh. I'm like too young for that. Some would say.
Are you like you're more like a piglet version? You got the pink going on today.
No, my first cartoon was SpongeBob. So.
Oh.
Vibes.
What's your favorite SpongeBob quote?
Oh, what's better than 24?
25.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know the quote, but this is really funny. Okay, bet. You're wearing a SpongeBob shirt.
No, it's just a regular shirt.
It looks like it's SpongeBob.
Thank you.
Sooner or later. I think it is a quote from SpongeBob, to be honest with you.
It's not a SpongeBob shirt, but I can accept it as well.
Okay, vibes. Anyway, so Chris, tell everybody a little bit about yourself, how you got here, how you ended up physically like on our podcast today. Kind of cool.
Well, as he said before, I'm a podcast profession. I wouldn't say profession. I would just say profession. Like it's not that much of a
Yeah, like we're quiet about it. We don't talk to a lot of people. Like the 12,000 people that follow you on Instagram, that's not that serious.
No,
right?
It's not
Everybody calm down.
Everybody calm down. There's like a 6th grader that's like shooting podcast videos, and you go to their social media, they're like being followed by 712 people. You have 12,000. I think you could call yourself a professional at this point.
I mean, it took a long time. It's just a number. That's one thing I've learned.
Okay.
At the 700 followers, at 11,000, it's pretty much the same thing.
I hear it. But, so how did you get into podcasting?
Well, when I was popular for being a rapper in high school, and then kind of like I graduated and I kind of like got this knock on my head, like I can't be a rapper. I need to find something better to do.
Was that knock like your grandma? Like, boy, you're not gonna do this.
No, I smelt it. I just smelt it before anybody else came. I just smelt it in the room.
You just knew
smelt it in the air.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much. And I just was like, what my skills now? How can I move it going forward? And that's pretty much how every step has been. Pretty much. So it went from just rapping, then I was doing live stream, talking to community, then I just got into whole film production, and then now
it started smelling
Vibes.
better and better.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
The podcast that you have, the community engagement, where do you find the people that you interview? What do you guys talk about on your podcast?
Oh, like what I always say to people, I just when I'm talking to people, I just say I like my podcast is for great people. I just like having great conversations with great people. That's like my tagline, what I always say. So I don't necessarily try to find like a type of person or it's just a great person, a great story. So I just try to inspire.
Okay, vibes. And you grew up here in Baltimore?
Yes, sir.
What neighborhood?
Emerson Village, the ass crack, as some would say.
Why do you call it that?
I mean, because it's like the part of Emerson Village is like the ass crack in the corner where like you only go there when you like littering, pretty much. And you dump a dirty mattress off.
Yikes!
That's probably why.
It's not that bad.
Some would differ, but I mean, I'm not here to talk about that.
On top of anything else, I think Edmondson Village is one of those neighborhoods that's like right on the cusp of being in the county.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of people that want to be in the county, but they want to take advantage of grant programs or whatever. And the prices too, because Edmondson Village is still, up and coming. There's a lot of renovations going on over there. There's a lot of grant programs driven towards home ownership because it's very like renter friendly community.
Well, I didn't even know any of that.
Now you know.
I didn't know any of that. I just knew we need to get away from here.
Okay. I think the better answer is like we need to continue to turn it, right? Like continue to make it better.
Yeah.
And, some of the families that we've had that have moved in, I can think of one family in particular, they love their block. Like they love their community. Mm-hmm. And especially with some of the negativity that comes from, quote unquote, Baltimore, other things like where people have these perceptions, these folks move from DC. and they just love it. Like they're right adjacent to the school. They got parks for their kids, and they have their little corner cutout, you know?
Oh, wow, that's nice.
So they really enjoy it. And I think that's kind of what's happening in some of these smaller neighborhoods in Baltimore for sure.
Yes.
So what inspired you to start the Blaze Network?
Blasé Network.
Blasé.
Yes.
Blasé.
Yeah,
Like
pretty-
Tarjay.
Yeah, it's
There
kinda,
you go.
Yeah, pretty much. It's kind of my name that I got from high school, you know, and I just
It's your rapper name.
Pretty much, yeah. Blasé Chris. I just turned it into a whole Blasé thing and kind of just delve into the whole Blasé aesthetic. I mean, I like the name.
Okay. And who would you say is like the most powerful or like the most inspirational person that you've had on your podcast?
That I've had on the podcast, I would say it's Philadelphia artist and a designer and fashion person, Fresh.
Okay.
I grew up watching him as a child. You know, he went viral a couple times, and just to realize him coming on my show and getting to talk with him is it's crazy. It's like,
Did he come to meet
circle
you
moment.
here in Baltimore? Did you go to see him?
No, actually, I spent my birthday interviewing him. That was like my birthday gift to myself. I went out there to Philadelphia. I found a studio, and I brought all my equipment. And that's on my birthday. I pretty much interviewed him.
So
I love
you
that.
literally like your birthday was spent setting it up, building the studio, prepping the whole thing. Anybody help you with that?
Yeah, my girlfriend. Yes.
Okay, bet. At least you have some support
Nice.
there.
Support.
That's awesome.
I would
That's
call her
awesome.
my producer. She's my other half. She bring it all together.
What did you guys take away from that interview?
Anything is possible. I never really could realize anything until then, pretty much.
Okay. Interesting.
Was
Yeah,
it like a
that's-
full circle moment?
Yeah, of course. Like, imagine somebody that you grew up in school watching videos of and just following their life, and then now you get to ask all the questions to them. Like, they have you here now. Like, I mean, I didn't even think it was real. I still don't.
If you were to have the opportunity to sit with somebody like young Chris, right? Like young Christopher Robinson, right? So you sit with that person in 5 years or something like that, and you think back of the impact that this guy had for you on your birthday that day in Philly. What would you say? Like the one thing that you're going to leave a legacy on?
Keep going. Don't quit. It's not gonna be easy. You're not about to make no money no time soon.
Okay.
Just keep going and keep inspiring, and just keep in mind of the people that you can inspire.
Okay.
That's where I find my monetary gain.
Interesting. Yeah. So continuing to kind of push the wheel forward, even if it's challenging.
Yes, sir.
I love that. I love that. You had mentioned in a conversation earlier, you had mentioned that if you could, you would take away anger from the world. What does that mean to you?
I mean, anger is just, I've seen a lot of aspects of anger, you know. I've seen just, anger is just not the best thing at all, you know. I jumped out a window from being angry, you know.
What?
Yeah, I jumped out.
You're gonna have to
drunken angry.
Go
elaborate on
deeper.
that.
But, okay. I was trying to hope I didn't have to revisit it. I didn't even think I was going to say that. But okay.
I'm sorry.
This is a space of vulnerability, sir.
All right.
This is a safe
All right.
space.
After a day of heavily drinking and intoxicating myself with some friends of mine, I wanted to keep going per se. I mean, I didn't want to keep going. I knew I wanted to stop, but I wanted to like smoke or something. But like they was like, no, you need to go lay down. So they like took my car keys and drove me to my house and like took me in the house. But like I waited until they left, and then I jumped out of my bedroom window to go. And it's so crazy. I don't even know why I did that, because they still had my car keys. Like I just did it out of a drunken stumper.
So you couldn't even
How you
do
doing,
nothing.
sir?
Brandon, the flower guy.
The flower guy.
Oh my
They were
God.
telling me about him.
Dude has a real passion, and it's actually admirable. But yes, he is
That
the
he just
flower
comes
guy.
in and
He lives down the
takes care
street.
of our plants.
I'm afraid to see how many plants he has at his house.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
heard it's insane.
50 now.
Holy
Oh my
guacamole.
God.
I killed an
Yeah.
aloe plant. I'm so bad with plants.
There
It's
you
not
go.
even funny. Don't give me anything.
I don't know anything about
My
plants.
boyfriend
No.
was like, let's do a garden. I said, how about you do a garden?
How about you do the garden?
Don't let me anywhere near it.
So something that's interesting about Baltimore, and a lot of people don't know this, is we are a vibrant city of what we, I think, proudly call arts, right? And the arts are dramatically increasing into media, right? Because now media has become, it's gone away from being print and TV. There's so many forms of media now with music and podcasting and social media and live streaming where, you know, Baltimore is really kind of found a little niche in that way. There's a lot of people that are doing what you're doing. I mean, how many other artists do you know that are creating an impact through community engagement in the way that you are?
I don't think nobody's doing what I do.
Well, I don't know that anybody's necessarily like starting podcasts and growing into the community the way that you are. Certainly our engagement with the community has changed since we shifted the focus
But to answer your
of our
question,
podcast.
I would say probably a million or so.
Well, that's a lot of people.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of people that are engaging into it, whether it's through food, blogging, or other ways. There's a lot of people that are out to share what's good about Baltimore.
TikTok for sure.
TikTok for sure.
For sure.
I mean, Instagram Reels, TikToks, you can go deep into Baltimore,
Yes, you
right?
can.
There's a lot of proud people that are running Baltimore businesses and, different focal points of business, whether it's, into a specific cuisine or a specific style or a specific studio. But there's a lot of people that are taking advantage of what we have to offer and sort of broadcasting it to the world.
Exactly.
I think the biggest thing that's driving change in our city is that sort of like proud mentality. And that's what you're doing too.
Yes, sir.
Right? Engaging with the community. It's kind of interesting because there's so many people that you don't think about. But there's one girl that I happen to follow, and she's a food blogger. That's like her thing. But every new restaurant, I feel like she gets an invitation. I don't know if she gets an invitation.
She gets an invitation.
But every single time she's at the new restaurant, the week they open, she's, telling you how to get there and what special lever you have to pull if it's in like a speakeasy style. And she's giving you feedback on the different, food items. And she's cross-comparing from different restaurants and why this particular one has the best chicken and waffles and why that particular one has the best, shrimp po' boy or whatever they're featuring. But it's kind of cool to see the mix of like culture, creativity, community being blended into social media. How do you feel kind of the city is doing in that way?
Oh, it's doing great. It's definitely doing better. I mean, we've spoken before. I'm a big researcher, so I like to delve everything that I'm into. But I mean, just from the economics from what I used to see compared to what I see now, it's definitely more vibrant.
Yeah.
It's definitely more creativity. It's not just all the same thing,
Definitely like changing the narrative about Baltimore.
Yeah.
Since social media blew up since COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a group that came out. I think they probably came out in COVID, to be honest with you. But Baltimore Vacants is on Instagram at Baltimore Vacants, and they talk about how you can invest in vacant property. And so in one way, it's a real estate podcast or a real estate Instagram. But in another way, it's also bringing awareness to like what's going on. And then as soon as the city does things like when they, put out vacants for $1 and these opportunities for investment, where are they getting the mass media? Well, Baltimore Vacants is really publicizing it nationally.
Yep.
And so you have these people that are doing very minor things, but to change the narrative, it can also be an income source, right?
What was that?
That's Christian.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Can
Christian.
they hear that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's being recorded.
Oh, okay, cool.
So on this bet, I had this conversation with her. We were on a Zoom meeting, and she's sitting over there, and she's got this stuff, like 2 microphones. Like this. And so, like, in the background, I could see the microphones and the green screen and stuff, and I was like, that's so cool. And she's like, yeah, I've never used it. And I was like, you have to start using it, right? And at the time, I was filming videos on either like an iPhone or an iPad. And then I had the microphone like plugged into the bottom of the phone and running under the table to like my shirt.
Guacamole.
Like it was like super just whatever, affordable. And I said, yeah, you need to do this. Like I do a video once a week. You could do once a week. She's like, oh, I could totally do once a week. Anyway, so we made a bet, and I was like, if you don't do it, you have to send me all the podcast equipment.
Wow.
And she was like, okay. And, of course, 2 weeks in, she didn't do anything. And so I'm calling her assistant to be like, hey, what's up? Of course, they never answer me. And then 3 months later, she doesn't answer me. And 6 months later, I'm like, hey, girl, like, you going to send me that stuff or what? And then maybe a year and a half later, I get a random phone call, and she goes like this. I go, oh, look who it is. And she goes, what's your address? And I was like, why? And she's like, I'm at UPS right now. I've got the shit boxed up. What's your address? And so it was just like A bet, but I'm not the type of person to like press on you. I'm the person to make you feel bad. Like,
That's
Chris,
even
you
better.
said you were going to bring Winnie the Pooh. And you're like, yeah, but I'm not a Winnie the Pooh guy. I'm like, but bro, you said you were going to. I would never call you and be like, you owe me a Winnie the Pooh doll. If you don't, I'm going to come to your house. And no, I wouldn't do that. Right. But I'm just like giving her a hard time. Like, hey, girl, like do these videos. Let's go. It's not too late to start now. Come on. This is important. Right. Like accountability. And so she sent it to me and it was this. 2 cords, 2 stands, 2 mics, 2 headsets, right?
Wow, congratulations.
And of course, we went from like a cell phone to this, and we were still shooting on a cell phone. So then we had to get a camera. And it was just like this progressive increase of quality.
Find out what you need.
Yeah. And then also like not spending money on dumb shit. Sorry, Susie, I love you. But not spending money on dumb stuff that you don't need, where you can start small. I mean, you could start a food blog on your cell phone. And I think the biggest thing, and I don't even know how this came up, but the biggest thing about like being in social media in Baltimore, starting to get a following, is you're speaking to someone. And that person hears you loud and clear, and they want your content over and over and over and over and over again. And if you don't, someone else is going to slide into that space.
Exactly.
And that's where Netflix and Google and Apple have really gotten really strong, is they understand, human psychology, and they know what you want. And so they provide you with what you want. But if you're going to start a following, I mean, there's 11,000 people that follow you. At some capacity, you have to speak to them.
Yes, I do.
Or they're going to unfollow and follow someone else.
That's what they've been doing.
Yikes.
Wow.
Well, I mean, that's when you get to that point, it's like it's some people. Yeah.
That's your followers right now.
Yeah.
Nah, we just need to get more content.
How often do you post?
Oh, well, I edit everything myself, so I try to post at least about like 3 to 4 times a week. But it's just editing everything myself, and just being the whole curator of everything I do. It kind of staples me sometimes.
Yeah.
A lot of times.
It's one of the challenges that we have, is that we're moving in 15 different directions, trying to be on social media, be present. And then if you offload that responsibility to someone else, now that's taking time from them too, right? So like at some capacity, it's the volume becomes the challenge. But the consistency is the key. So whether it's 3 times a week or 7 times a week or whatever, like the Monday morning show that I do every single week, I've been doing it for like 7 years, maybe more now. Jeez.
I love me.
How often do you post?
What kind of post?
Social posts, social content.
Maybe like once a week.
Lies. You at least put out stories.
Oh yeah, stories.
Okay.
That counts. That counts.
Like maybe 3 to 5 a day.
The thing that I enjoy about stories is that they're not, they're not who you are. They're what you're doing.
Yeah.
So like, let's say that you posted a story and you were like, you said something that you regretted, right?
This morning I posted me with a Slim Jim.
There you go. And some people might have opinions or feelings about it, but it's gone tomorrow.
Yeah, and my brother was like, what am I supposed to do with this?
That's how.
I
That's
said,
how.
enjoy
Click
it.
next, right?
Yeah,
like
Yeah, that's how
enjoy
Instagram
it.
stories
I don't
work,
know.
Yeah.
Stop being a hater.
Stop being a hater. Yeah, I mean, a lot of stuff that I post is kind of, it's interesting to me, and I figure somebody that might be interested by it is going to follow it, but somebody that's not is just going to skip on. Whereas a post is like content. It's telling your story. It's telling who you are and what you stand for and why, the Blasé network, Blaze network, Christopher Robinson over here, is important, and why someone should follow you and why someone should value you as a social content, right?
Yes, sir.
So I guess the question becomes, how are you going to go from 11,000 to 100,000?
Oh, that's easy. I mean, just expanding on everything I do. I mean, I don't want to just keep myself just interviewing people. I would like to open up my schedule to produce shows and actually bring it into a whole network type of feeling.
Damn. So really creating more content alternatives.
Yes, sir.
Because now we're not just recreating content. We're also doing different things, like hitting them from all angles. That's interesting. Do you do video production as well? Like camera video as compared to like tripod camera?
Yes, sir. A lot of my work that I have done is really behind the films. Like I've done some assistant directors for some documentaries.
Where do we see that?
I don't even know you're gonna find it. I know one for sure is not even out yet because I know we're still.
Well, that's not helping our cause.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna. I wouldn't. That's why I wouldn't even try it because I don't even think. Plus the other one, it was a dirt bike documentary that was out about like 2015, 2020 or so. That got taken down, so I couldn't even say
Really?
that that's still out. Yeah, I don't.
They
It's
took it
because
down.
the director of the person that shot the documentary film, he actually went to jail for murder.
Oh,
Yikes.
So I mean, convicted, not just went to jail, but I guess nobody was around to pick it up afterwards.
Damn. Yeah, that's
it be
crazy.
like that sometimes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I think one of the most impactful things is that social media is like a vision into someone, their real persona. And so sometimes we have these like fake personas that we create for social media, and that's okay too. But if the real person is suffering from, mental illness or personal illness or wealth, vitality, or whatever's holding them back, you're going to see that in social media. Even if it's a made up content piece, you're still going to see some reflection of it in some way, shape, or form. And that's something that people forget. Like, even if you're a TV star, you still also have like a life and a heart.
I have a question for you.
Hit.
You've been putting your phone on top of your drinking glass?
Yeah?
How sanitary is that?
I don't care.
That's gangster.
I'm like the last person that cares about that. I grew up, basically like my parents would kick me out of the house for hours at a time in the morning.
Holy moly.
And so I'd
Sorry
be out
about
like, I'd be out like in the stream behind my mom's house, and we'd like fill up water glass.
Holy moly.
In
That's
the
just like-
stream.
I
I
don't
thought
know.
you were gonna say like you drink out of the like.
Oh
the
yeah, we did
hose
that
water.
too. Well, but it depended. Like if we were running through
Whoa.
the woods, I would always wear my brother's shoes. That's my favorite story. I would wear my brother's shoes because I didn't want to get my shoes dirty.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So, but I don't care.
I think you should care.
Yeah, you don't care 'cause they're not your
me
shoes.
Personally, I don't touch nobody else's phone because because I know I wipe my phone off like every time I take a shower. I get a
Oh no, that's
I
too
get
much.
I get a disinfecting wipe and I wipe my phone off every time I get out the shower.
You
No.
just have germophobia.
No, I don't.
Look at how dirty the inside of my phone
That's
is.
because
I don't even want to show
Yeah, but
you
I'm not
my
like
phone.
trying to clean it every day. Maybe I should.
But just think of
Maybe I
perspective
should.
from
My
somebody
phone?
else's phones. You ever seen somebody else's phone? It's just glossy fingerprints. Like you can tell they haven't wiped the screen down.
Oh well, yeah, that's. a
Oh,
little
that's my
different.
phone.
So yeah, you're exactly the person with phone. I
Jeez.
avoid.
Dude, my
Jeez.
phone's so bad that like when you FaceTime me, you can't even hear me.
Oh,
my
no.
siblings are like, you need to get a new phone.
You need to get the little poker that like you can clean out the speaker.
Yeah.
Y'all need
Yeah.
to get some disinfectant wipes and wipe your phones. Oh no!
Oh my god, we've learned something about Chris.
I'm a germaphobe.
Damn.
I've been a germaphobe before COVID. I haven't touched the door
You're a
handle.
for real germaphobe. That's crazy.
Yes, sir. Well, not in a bad way, as of like it's affected my mental health and stuff not clean. But I just know my things. I know when to
So
not
like,
touch other people.
so like sometimes when I go to a restaurant, you unwrap the fork and knife, and it's like sometimes they're not necessarily clean, and that's annoying. That's frustrating. I get that. But then I know other people that will unwrap the fork and knife and they'll clean it with the cloth, like with the napkin.
Yes, sir.
As if it wasn't clean before, but now the napkin establishes like a sanitary space for them.
See,
I'm like, wait a
happened to
second.
me.
Help me understand what you're doing here.
This happened to me on Friday or Saturday. And I went out with my friends, and I have this one friend. I love her. But every time we go out to a restaurant, she'll ask for a glass of hot water.
Yeah. To
put her-
sanitize. Yeah.
That's what I was gonna
Yeah,
say.
she's the only person I
and
know that
and
does
I'm
that.
good with that. Like I don't question any of those things. I understand why people do it, but the one that always got me is the people that clean the utensil with like a cloth napkin, assuming that cloth napkin is now a clean space for them to clean the utensil. Like
If you think that's crazy, every time I use the bathroom at a public restroom and I have to go number 2, I get the tissue and I get soap and I literally clean the toilet down every time.
well, they should be inviting you into their restaurant because I
every
bet that's
time.
the only time it does. Dude,
should
I
be
don't
paying
blame you. There's certain things that are just a little grody, as I would say, right? Like a couple things that are just a little weird, but like the outside of the glasses, I don't care.
I know
Just like
people
this-
that
this
strip.
directly on the table.
I made the table.
You made this table.
I
When
did.
has this been last time wiped down?
That's a good question.
See, boom.
I can't tell you when it was done, But
I'm not trying to say you're dirty or anything.
yeah, you didn't know that?
No, I didn't know
Nah,
that.
we made it.
I'm new here.
My wife and I made the table from scratch, actually.
Holy guacamole.
Yeah, I was impressed with ourselves too. We did a good job. Yep.
I wish I was a handyman.
This was an interesting project. This is the first time I ever built like quote unquote furniture. So
What do you do to enjoy your time? 'Cause you look like just from my perspective of just walking in here, seeing the atmosphere. You look like you sound. I hate to be judgmental, but you look like a workaholic or something.
oh yeah, I was gonna say I'm like I like to work. I think that the challenge of it is that like I don't enjoy TV.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I don't enjoy TV, but I don't find enjoyment from sitting down in front of the TV.
Holy God.
Like I'm not trying to sit down in front of the TV and just like watch. Like when I was younger, I used to like click. Oh, something's on and I'll watch it. I don't really find enjoyment from that. I want to watch something because I'm exhausted. I want to wind down my day. I want to just kind of do nothing. Sure. But I mean, yesterday I got home from a 4-day travel. It was a busy week. A lot of things going on. It was work. Just crazy. I got home yesterday, woke up early to be with my mother-in-law and my family. We had breakfast and it was wonderful. And then I'm standing in the garage like, all right, well, now I don't have anything to do. Mm-hmm. And instead of just going in and laying on the couch, which I was exhausted and for sure should have, I pulled out the pressure washer, cleaned something, pulled out the chainsaw, started working around the yard. I mean, it needed to be done. So it's not like they don't need to get done, but I would rather accomplish something. And so if it was, what do I enjoy doing? Like if there was one thing, accomplishing something every single day.
You know, okay.
Yeah, like cleaning the house or like, oh, I've always wanted to go to this place or I've wanted to try this thing. It's like I want to check and move on. So
that's pretty much how I am.
Yeah. I'm not trying to like sit around and like whittle a stick. No. This was made because of necessity. But it wasn't like I've never made anything else. So I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah.
You need to take a chill pill.
Nah, I enjoy it, dude. I enjoy it. You need to lick a glass from time to time.
No.
Or a phone.
I would never.
Or a park bench.
You don't understand how religiously it seems. Like I get out the shower and I'm not even, before I even put my clothes on, I get my detergent wipe my Apple Watch, wipe my phone, wipe my AirPods.
Why do you do that when you get out of the shower? Why wouldn't you start with those things?
I don't know. Maybe I should switch it around.
It's like you're clean, you go to a dirty surface, right? Switch it around. Get the surfaces clean and then shower. If you're watching this and you're listening to this, the one thing I suggest you is to start wiping down your phone. I'm going to start doing that because I know it probably needs to be done.
Imagine like a dirty guy. What his phone is like. You know what I mean?
Well, I think from the standpoint of like sanitation, maybe. I also believe that like this helps keep you healthy, but to each their own. At any rate, all right, so we have a lot of things coming up. We just had our home buyer event last weekend. How did that go?
It went awesome. Christian
really well.
Crushed it, yes.
Yeah. I wasn't here, which was sad, but it was necessary, so I'm glad that you guys crushed it. And then we have Client Appreciation Party coming up at the end of the month, so if you're not already, make sure you hop on our social media, register for the Client Appreciation Party. It's at Bordy Vineyards, so make sure you get a ticket before they're sold out. They are free, so just get a ticket. And then also in June, we have Pups and Cups coming up in June. I think it's like June 8th, which is down in Annapolis, so we can get you more information. You can always reach out to me on our website at frankoliverco.com. You can read about our blog for social media content. Under additional resources, go to the blog, or you can always reach me on Instagram at michael.frank___ until you're nauseous of your underscores. How can they reach to you?
Marissa the Realtor.
On Instagram.
___.
There you go.
Yes.
And Chris, how can people reach out to you if they wanted to connect with you outside of podcasting?
Go to your local library.
There you go. For real?
Yes.
What do you mean?
I go to the library a lot.
He's there.
You're at all the libraries.
He's there.
It depends on which side of the city I am, but practically, yeah.
I'm a vibe.
Oh, okay.
I love that. All right, bro. We'll catch you soon. Thank you, guys. What's up, guys? Thanks for watching. For more information on the housing market, Real Estate 101, how you can leverage your position in today's market, and so much more, click on the link below. If you like this video or have a burning real estate question you'd like us to answer, leave us a comment and let us know. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss an episode, and we'll see you again real soon.